Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Watch TV on Beer. I'm your host Bobby Campbell and you guys are going to be joining me on my journey through the world of craft beer. Alright everybody, on today's episode of Watch TV on Beer we are going to be doing Sierra Nevada Hoptimum. I've been searching for this beer for about a year now and I finally found it in a 4-pack and turns out it was seasonal. That was the problem. And I wanted to knock this one out as quickly as possible. The thing with IPAs is that you can't let them sit in the fridge for too long. They're going to need to be consumed as quickly as possible to get the absolute best experience out of it. So I had to skip a couple beers that I wanted to do because this is something I found and I had to do this. So let's go ahead and see how this beer tastes. Oh. All right, got about a 1-finger head on that, nice off-white, kind of eggshell white head. Oh, I can smell this beer from here. That is unbelievable. Oh man, got that classic Sierra Nevada, like torpedo IPA. If you guys have ever had that before, it has that very same smell to it. I believe the grain they use is Carapils. It gives it kind of a pilsnery kind of flavor. Oh man, but just big floral notes in this. A lot of tropical fruit, that great pine that you would expect every time from a Sierra Nevada beer. A little bit of sweet malt in there, but as well, there's this, there's a little bit of booziness, a little bit of alcohol astringency in there. It's very heavy smelling beer. Oh man, that's excellent. Let's see how this tastes. Oh wow. Right off the bat, first thing I notice is the resinous in this. The hop oil is very thick beer. Well, it stays on your tongue for a while. The mouthfeel on that is very interesting. You get a little bit of booziness. You get a lot of that sweet tropical fruit in there. And then just a big, bitter grapefruit pine on the back. You still get a little bit of that floral, that floral sensation on the tongue. Whew, yeah, that's it's a little hot too. If you're a fan of sake, you drink anything like that, or heavier wines like Cabernet Sauvignons and Pinot Noirs. It's got that same kind of alcohol warmth, that booziness to it. Very bitter. This came in at 100 IBUs, which is pretty insane. They say that the IBU scale, which is International Bittering Units, that goes to 2,500. I could take that or leave it. I like to stay on the 1 to 100 scale, and once you reach 100 IBU, it really doesn't get much more bitter than that. But wow. This beer really sits on the back of the tongue with that big grapefruit peel. Not even the actual sweet fruit itself. The grapefruit peel, very sour, very bitter, puckering sourness. At first though, the sweetness of the malt really helps to balance that out a little bit, but then I find the aftertaste is kind of overwhelming afterwards. It does start to get to me a little bit, and I really love IPAs. IPAs are my favorite style of beer. I was searching for just the biggest, baddest, boldest beers I could find, and Hoptimum was one of the ones on that list, and I gotta tell you, I feel like I could not drink this every day, but when it comes around next year, I'm definitely picking this up. If you guys get a chance to, if you find this in a store, I actually found this at Vaughn's. I believe it was $9.99 for a 4-pack. That's here in California. Highly recommend it if you are a hophead, if you like big, bold IPAs, if you're a Stone fan. Highly recommend that you try this beer, because this is really above and beyond most of the beers that I can sit down and enjoy. I'm really on the fence about this one as far as like actual enjoyment on it. It's got so much flavor, it's got so much complexity, and that's one of the things that I always look for in a great beer. But man, I just, it's that bitterness, that lingering bitterness, it just sticks with you for a very, very, very long time. And I gotta say, that's probably the only thing that that turns me off about that. But that said, let's get into the overall on this beer. If I had to, I don't want to do this because I love Sierra Nevada, but I'm gonna have to give this an 8.5. This is a little heavy, very, very thick. Definitely not for somebody that's just gotten into IPAs or somebody that's looking to try an IPA. I wouldn't recommend this as your first IPA. This is really, really heavy, really, really strong. That booziness just warms and warms and warms. I mean, it really is like a good shot of sake. But man, 8.5. I got arrested at 8.5 on that. I hate to do it to you, Sierra Nevada. I'm sorry. I love you guys. You're awesome. I drink a lot of your beers. Trust me, I do. I should buy stock, actually. But that's going to do it for this episode of Watch TV on Beer. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Probably noticed that we didn't have all the fancy camera work and all that kind of good stuff that we did in the first episode. And that's for one reason. A very, very good friend of mine, David Barnett, worked very, very hard to work all that out, to edit that, to film it, to take time out of his day. He's very, very busy. This is what he does for a living. And he took time out of his day to edit that and film it for me, and I'm eternally grateful for that. As I get better at editing, because I have no experience in it whatsoever, I promise you guys, like, I'm going to try to mix it up and it won't be just a straight shot of me drinking beer and talking about it and wasting your time. I'm going to get really quick, snappy kind of beer reviews going, but I just wanted to extend a deep thank you to David Barnett for editing that, putting all the sound in there, doing all the sound effects, the slow motion pour. Big thank you to Fred for letting us borrow the FS700. Guys, we shot the first episode of Watch TV on Beer on an FS700. Look up this camera. It's about the price of a mid-size compact economy car. It's about $21,000. We got lucky enough to be able to borrow that. I don't know if we should have, but we did. And it came out great. The slow motion pours were awesome. That was actually at 340 frames per second, which was cool. It's much, much, much more than my DSLR here can do. So in the future, I do hope that I can get a hold of David and we can film a couple more that are going to look like that, so I don't sit here and stammer and take 5 minutes to rate a beer. But thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it as always, and I'm going to be bringing more of these reviews to you guys because I have a blast doing it. I really, really, really enjoy it. So cheers everybody, and never be afraid to try something new. Take care.